everybody, what's up? We are bringing back Ask the Dropouts. I'm here with Joey,
Hey, what's up, everybody?
and obviously I'm Steph. So we actually did Ask the Dropouts like 2 years ago, dude. Can you believe it? It was like
Mm,
2 years ago in 2018, and we did it
yeah.
for like, yeah. And
Now,
I
yeah,
think now, just because, I mean, enough time has passed, and we're actually like still in the pandemic, so it makes sense that we should just bring back this show just to kind of give everybody an update. So for those that didn't watch our show 2 years ago, which I would assume most of you, because that's crazy. So this is a monthly show where we answer your questions and we give you updates about the channel and what's going on, as well as like just talking about martial arts and filmmaking
yeah.
and
Just hang
talk.
out, just hang out
Yeah,
with
hang out with
us
the
because this
dropouts.
is
So also want to take a moment here and say thank you to everybody that had helped us get to 10,000 subscribers. Like,
hey, thank you so much. Really,
hey!
really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank
Like
you.
it's crazy. I know that it was something that Joy and I had kind of dreamed about for a while, and the fact that we actually hit
Right.
10K.
People that do studies on YouTube, being 10,000, we basically made like the top 10% of like all YouTube, the YouTube, I guess, community. Realistically, guys, doing YouTube, there's like a very high dropout rate, and somehow we didn't make that. Like the next goal is 100,000. I mean, fifty
Whoa, I
thousand.
think
But
it's
if we could,
50.
but I'm just saying, if we get to 100,000, like that's pretty crazy for the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
I think it's what we do is already kind of different. It's not really marketable. We're not gaming, or we're not like a lifestyle vlog. Like we're filmmakers on YouTube, and there's only like a few of us that really uh, still stay on here, right? So
Yeah, like
because
I know like ever since the in-house grindhouse that we had done, for anybody that, I mean, doesn't really know about it, the in-house grindhouse was just our way of trying to support like indie filmmakers and like all over the world, because we're in a pandemic, and I see on Facebook all the time of like all of these filmmakers posting their content, and they have their own like little like small YouTube channels, but it doesn't really do much if like they don't get views. And I thought, hey, let's just
right,
take the
yeah,
time and actually you know, just shine a light on them. So like if you guys go
right,
over to our website, you guys can actually check out the content from our last two in-house grindhouses and support those filmmakers as well. I mean, they
yeah.
were amazing. It was like content from like short films, like,
Obviously, we just wanted to shine a light on them because we're nobodies. Yeah, 10,000, doesn't really mean much to a lot of people, but hopefully within the 10,000 subs that we have and whatever viewers that we do get, hopefully, some of that also they could those viewers could see all these amazing talented people from around the world, and we can build up a community here on YouTube that with indie filmmakers that kind of support each other because it's a cutthroat business like Hollywood, right? And
yeah.
and the thing is, like, we're doing this because I don't think we're ever really going to go the Hollywood route because it'll be hard for us, It's actually funny. Like this week, I was watching Corridor Digital, and they actually just came out with this video, and they were talking about how they made like a number of long form content. They're talking about how they tried to do the Hollywood thing, but they can't because there's a lot of problems that happen behind closed doors. Like if you like they had like this one, they filmed this whole movie for Battlefield or something, and when they were filming it, like EA, the company was like, okay, yeah, you have the rights to Battlefield. Okay, but it has to be like this because of this game that we're putting out. Okay, now you can do it, like so they rewrote things, and they're like, okay, now you can do whatever Battlefield you want. Okay, then at the end of everything, they were like, yeah, you don't have the rights anymore. Like right when they finish, right? But they
My
still put it
God.
out because they put the money and effort and everything. But like obviously it's not Battlefield or whatever it's that they're saying. But that made sense. They were talking about how there's like all these producers and even like YouTube Red, I guess, like the Prime channel for YouTube.
Hmm.
Like they made this show, and I really liked it. I think it was called Lifeline or something, right? So first they had casting and all these things, but then next thing you know, YouTube was like, you know what, we're just gonna cast the people, right? And even though they had like months and months of casting, then right before the production, they were like, we're gonna cast people, and now like they go on set with people they never met, and like these people didn't even read the script or something like that. And I remember them talking about how they had like a very bad experiences because like some of like the main actor or whatever, they didn't really think that okay, they're YouTubers and they're from YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
they're nobody, they don't know anything. Or like even the film team that they hired, they weren't really cooperative with them because of the fact that they had a different workflow, because it's like the Hollywood workflow versus the, I guess, what us like the
Like
indie YouTube
YouTube.
workflow is, right? Even in the indie film industry, like we already had like so many BS moments, right?
Oh my
Like we had this one,
god.
like obviously I'm not gonna drop names or anything, but like, oh yeah, I would like to, I will fund you guys. We would like to do this if you could write a script. I write a script. And they don't like they're like, okay, yeah. Then after the script is done and we bought like all of the stuff on our side because we said, hey, we're gonna provide this, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna provide it. And it's probably our fault. We should have. I
Mm-hmm.
think we did have a contract, but like we really
Like we were
didn't
waiting
see
on
how.
them to sign it first, and we only had one out of two signatures, which still doesn't make it valid because you need all the
Yeah,
signatures. And I mean,
right. But we went ahead because we thought that it was, these people were trustworthy, right? So we
yeah,
lost money out on that because like we bought these props and everything, and like just so it's shit like that, and that
yeah,
happens within like just the indie filmmaking world. Like I could only imagine, having a big deal like, hey, yeah, it's like millions and millions of dollars, and they're like, no, no, not anymore. Like
yeah.
what the fuck,
I think
like
it's
But
hard
anyways,
to stay nice and like listen to people's words, like even if it's
mm-hmm.
family, I think there should always be contracts like laid out. Like communication
Especially for
is great
business.
and everything, but it's like verbal agreements don't mean anything without a written contract. And it's
Yeah.
unfortunate, but like it happens all the time. I mean,
Like I wish Nerf would
yeah,
like
sponsor us already.
sponsor us or
Jeez.
something, dude.
Actually,
Like
that is
that'd
a
be. I mean,
hint to our comment of the month, which we will cover at the end of this episode.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I know. So if you guys, sorry, we totally took like a tangent towards like the film industry and whatnot, but I mean, I hope it helps
Sorry
you
about that.
guys. If you guys have
Like,
seen Ask the Dropouts 2 years ago, it wasn't really anything like this with the graphics and whatnot. So we're trying
mhm,
to, upgrade our work and try to like have a better presentation and just way more
yeah.
entertaining. I've been playing with OBS and I'm very nervous on how to use this because I don't know. It's just okay. Thanks, Joey. Thanks. I miss you.
No, you're good. Like we're doing this. I miss you too, darling. And then,
Aw.
like the thing is, like right? But just to we don't want to fool anybody or make something look like we're not, right. Like we're filmmakers and we still do work while we doing our
Mhm.
company business, right. Like I have a mattress behind me. Obviously I'm not doing that well, right. I sleep on, this is like my workspace, right. So obviously,
I have a mattress on the
but
floor too in my bedroom. I actually kind of prefer it. It's like a lot easier to get like on and off.
yeah,
Could just
yeah.
roll. All right. So, because you guys are here for Ask the Dropouts and we are the Dropouts and we will answer your questions. So, I have some questions here. Not too many, thank God. So,
Mhm.
let's see. For our first question, we'll start a little easy and simple. Superpowers. If you were to have a superpower.
Oh, I think like every other guy. I think I already talked to like stuff about this like a million times over. I've been thinking this shit since high school. I want the power to control time. No one can beat me. You can't beat me. No one can. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Um,
power of time. Like
no,
if you could
I
control the
get
power of
it.
time, right? Or like reality shifting, like something super abstract,
Oh
where
my
you're just like
gosh.
no, and like just no. Then there we go. Then that doesn't happen.
I think I was gonna go with like Taskmaster. I just wanna like I
That
don't
is
know.
so like low and
I don't care. Like I mean I wish I could fly, but I think that I could get more out of like a taskmaster type ability. For fight scenes, what's more important, knowing martial arts or knowing filmmaking? Yeah, this is a question for you, dude.
honestly, I think knowing filmmaking, because basically, For fight scenes, it doesn't just
Oh.
doesn't have to be martial arts. Yeah, it's true because I think in a lot of times too, the people that never did fight scenes before or never they didn't do stunts, the best people I got to work with was well before working with people that know how to do what we're doing. It's like dancers, like that could just understand the movement and beat and
Oh.
choreography or whatever, and because they could make it safe, like oh they're not just throwing wildly, right? It's like it's a beat, right? Like you're
Mm.
just putting your limbs here, but don't go past that point at this beat, and it sounds like pop, 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 right, or whatever, right? And because like in the end, like all of the pretty movements doesn't really mean anything if you can't shoot it or edit it well. So
Mhm.
I think that's like one of the so filmmaking first because you don't have to do martial arts. People would just be brawling, and there's a lot of movies out there where just people are just throwing like barroom brawls type of thing, but they look great.
Mhm. Yeah, and I mean
So
it's only like a few exchanges of moves anyways. Like
yeah, I think the martial arts will help you make the fighting look nicer and cleaner. But since we are still talking about filmmaking, the base level has to be filmmaking first, right?
so I think it's also like dependent on the genre of like what they're doing. Like you can't just I don't think you can just pull off like a kung fu centric like focused hungar fight scene type of thing if you don't have any basis
Oh
in
yeah,
martial
yeah.
arts.
But even so, like even on when we're filming stuff, depending on what camera angle, sometimes we throw like wonky feeling attacks because it looks well on camera, but it wouldn't work in real life. Like sometimes I would say to you, like,
Yeah.
okay, like from this angle, yeah, you're gonna throw this like a kick to the face, but you're actually kicking like at their shoulder at like a lower angle because the camera's on the floor aiming up. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
because it looks like you're kicking him in the face, but in reality, it's only gonna hit him in the chest.
Mhm.
And that's just filmmaking.
Yeah, cuz like
So
when I started working with you, that was like the first time I did like any fight scenes, but prior to that, I only had martial arts experience and no filmmaking experience. And like as
well,
just a martial artist going into it, I just had to trust you because a lot of the stuff that you had asked me to do, I'm like, you want me to kick from there, but the person's all the way over there and the camera's over there. That doesn't make any sense, but the person's gonna fall like
yeah.
they get hit. You know,
All
it's
right.
like the basis of like knowing camera angles and like where the camera is shooting from,
Mm-hmm.
and like the concept of just stacking. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
didn't get that at first. So I was like, okay, I'll
Mm.
just listen to you.
And it's yeah, and it's funny too because like I know you watch a lot of kung fu or like just martial art movies in your life, right? But now when you actually do it, like oh, it's not that easy.
Yeah,
And
no.
that's the thing too, right? Like with YouTube and filmmaking, once it looks easy. I know everybody wants to do action films, right? Like all of
Hmm.
these like newer actors and actresses, like they think action films are easy, but then once you start doing it, it's like wow, okay, this is not a fucking work, and you get to see how much effort somebody has to put in there to
Yeah.
make things work like that.
Plugging our stuff in, check out our tutorial series. And for watching Ask the Dropouts, you guys could actually get 10% off of the tutorial series. So we go over like a ton of stuff on there. Joy walks you
Yeah.
through from like pre-production, production, post-production, and it's like super extensive. So if you guys are
Yeah.
interested, go to our website and just like click on tutorial series. And we only have two available for now, but maybe eventually we'll work on another
Yeah.
one.
Here, this is we're just promoting like how we do it, and it's not like we're not teaching like a stunt course or anything. It's a filmmaking course. It just so happens that the genre of filmmaking that we do is very active and very action and like physical based.
Hmm.
But but I don't want people to think that like they learn this and like they know how to do stunts because we show you how to incorporate stunts, but we don't teach you how to stunt. You really have to go to a place and learn
Yeah,
that.
I think for stunts you have to
Like
physically go and train. I don't think there's
like
like
train.
videos that you could just watch and just, hey,
Yeah.
I'm a stuntman
Because like
now.
the
Yeah,
to
I've
help
been
out.
doing like a lot of research, just like indie filmmakers, and it's crazy that there is still like a range of like indie filmmakers. You're either at a, let's say your biggest budget feature film is $5,000, and then it ranges to people that are like, yeah, my small budget film is $1 million, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's crazy. We joke around all the time, like, hey, $5,000, that's enough to film a whole web series. Like,
I'm just saying in the future,
mhm.
definitely, once we have more of a budget, then we can take more time to make a more production level. Because ultimately, one of my dreams is to make a production level picture, right?
Yeah.
And I think that being an indie filmmaker, I think we could definitely uh, make the budget a lot lower than like Hollywood level. But
Yeah.
obviously,
And it's strange too,
it's still
because
it's
like, how are things going to change considering like the pandemic right now? You know what I mean? Like, because our film production, it's you and I, right? It's you and I,
yeah.
and then like a handful of stunt guys, and
Yeah.
I mean that's really it.
Yeah,
And
and
even if there's a lot
people
of
don't
people,
believe
we
it.
like schedule it so that way there's only, hey, if I need you on a day, you're only here for 2 hours and then you're out. You don't even
Yeah,
know
and like
what's next. Like that's it.
yeah, people don't believe that we're the only ones that really do everything, pre-production and post-production. And like you guys can do it. It's just that you have to understand. Like we put there's a lot of sacrifice into doing what we're doing.
Hmm.
So it's still there. It's viable, but only the realistic thing is that what we're doing is something that I know most people wouldn't want to do. It's not that you can't do it. It's just that they don't want to do it because of it's a lot of foregoing a
Hmm.
lot of things and a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, and that's just the honest truth with a lot
And
of
we're
it.
still
So,
learning too. Like we still have to improve on
oh yeah,
so many different things. Like during
like we
quarantine, like we're still working. It's
like
like
it
we're
took
not
us it took
shooting
me
a
this long.
lot, but like we're
Yeah,
still, you know.
we're not really good with our sound either, right? So there's like so many more things that we need to add, but the thing is there's only two of us. And yes, we could hire people out, but that's not in the budget yet.
Yeah.
Or like it's we're unable to have that resource. So we're trying to be resourceful.
Hmm.
That's
And
what
like
it
we
is.
don't want to, I mean, if you guys don't know, I mean, thank you to our patrons that have supported us and
Oh yeah.
like helped
Thank you
us
so
out.
much.
Like
Really
thank you
appreciate
guys
it.
so much. I hope you guys notice your names during the stream. Um
Mm.
like seriously, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't even be able to do what we do. And filmmaking, it's really expensive, but we just don't want to take advantage of your money and just kind of spend
Yeah.
willy-nilly. Like we want to be able to give you guys content that's worth it and that you'll enjoy.
We use our YouTube basically as like our portfolio. So we get jobs
Hmm.
outside of YouTube, and that's kind of what we're here for. But obviously, would really love if I could just do YouTube and just make
Yeah,
movies and
that's
just
the
make things that like
dream.
people would enjoy. And that's like the life that I chose that I want to do for the rest of my life, honestly. But
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy
what
because
it is.
like during this pandemic, I just want to give back to our patrons like so much more for even sticking
Yeah.
with us through it. I mean, like just contacting everybody, just making sure that they're okay. It's like just nice to hear from them, and
Yeah.
it like I told them honestly, hey, if you can't support us, like don't feel bad. But
Yeah. Like,
you guys are the real MVPs. I mean,
yeah, you
it's
guys are keeping us
sane.
ticking. Like, thank you so
Yeah.
much, man.
Like your
Because this
comments
this
mean so
year's
much.
it really does. It's nice to know that even if it's nice to know that somebody appreciates
Mhm.
the stuff that we do.
Actually,
It's
speaking
really
of
that's
which,
what it
one
is.
of our patrons did ask as a question,
Mhm.
"How are you all doing?" That's his question, and that's from Friso.
2020 has been bad.
Yeah.
So, there's like stuff happening like in my personal life right now. It's
Hmm.
like not really. I'm not gonna share it, but like, was it like 2 months ago? I got electrocuted because of one of our moldy fucking like extension cords. Almost blew off my right hand. Right, and it's you know, that's one thing.
It's
But even before that, I was already quarantined before the quarantine because like I'm like my immune system is just so janky, and because my genes, my genetic makeup is just all right. So
yeah. I haven't
I
seen you
guess
since like I think the beginning of February or was it
yeah, dude.
January,
I have been
mid January?
in
I don't know.
January.
Basically, like the whole year already.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen you this whole year. Like, well, you dropped off
I drove
groceries
by
sometimes,
at like
and like and
yeah.
stuff like that. And
No, I
like
drove by once, and then the other times I just dropped food at your door and I just left. I didn't even
Oh,
actually
thank.
see you.
See, Steph is like she's my guardian angel, dude. She's been like helping me out this entire the zoom ins.
Yeah, what?
Can we wait? Which side am I
Wait,
on?
go the other way.
Yeah.
This is like the
All right.
jankiest looking heart ever. That looks so
Sorry.
bad.
Because you guys have been like trapped. Oh my god, I'm so jealous that you guys have been going outside and shit. You know, because like this is like actually this is kind of serious. Really think I literally have not been outside. Probably okay twice because I went out to get
Yeah,
mail.
but twice in a
I practically
year?
yeah. I literally am like I'm like pasty. Like outside, I not Twilight glittering in the sun, but like I'm gothic vampire like skin tone, dude.
You should tan from inside your house. Just like open the shades and just lie there.
Just turn on the lights and
Turn
say
on the
like we're
lights.
sun color.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, we're
Yeah,
gonna
see?
we're gonna take a quick break, guys, and check out AJ Kick 101. She is like what? I think 20, 30 away from 1,000 subscribers. So please check it out. Cool. Yeah, you guys should
Wow.
subscribe. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, help her out. Like I said, 1,000 subs
1,000.
is like yeah, it's just like, she's 30 away or 25 away or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. She's like so close. I
That's
mean, I feel like if she just went live and then everybody actually like took the time and subscribed, she would already reach 1,000. It's crazy,
yeah.
like the convergence of Instagram and YouTube and other platforms. It just doesn't work very well. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I don't
next question. Also, how are you guys handling the quarantine? Oh my god, you guys are so nice. I
but
mean,
I
aren't
haven't
you
gotten
still in a
like
wheelchair right now? And like,
yeah, so but I am able to, kind of walk on I have like a my walker or whatever,
mhm.
like strengthening my legs. I can move them now, but obviously I still have to train it.
Yeah, how
Yeah,
are you
but
handling quarantine?
surprisingly well. I think I've always been a homebody, or I've shifted into a homebody in the past like 8 years or some shit.
Yeah, I've kind of realized that too. I actually really enjoy being home.
No, like
Like,
it costs money to go out there. You
yeah,
know what I mean? I
like
say I like
gas,
I
toll, food. Like,
yeah, when we're out, like I want to like because I want to enjoy life with you guys, right? So when we're out, it's like, hey, let's just shit up my diet. Let's just fuck it up. Like let's have every soda and milkshake, whatever possible, right? It's like I get that, but I'm home. It's like I have a very solemn like lifestyle. I write scripts here. I work digitally. I edit for other companies, for other clients and whatnot. I write scripts. I play like Valorant with the guys. Right?
I try to hang out with you guys when you guys are playing, and I'm like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. You guys are saying random words like banana or like meatloaf. I don't even know. You guys like say random words. I'm
Just
like, what? Okay, so last question. How did you
yes.
guys start our school dropouts? Which really ties back to you because you're the one that actually started the whole thing.
Well, it was a blog, and like basically we called it. Well, I called it Art School Dropouts because we were kind of. I was playing off of that one blog. It was famous. I think it's still around. It's called Film School Rejects, hence Art School Dropouts, and made a blog. But I was like the filmmaker of the group. One was like more of a like classic artist, and another one is more of a digital artist. And we just kind of like wrote blogs and our thoughts about art and life or whatever, right? I got sick very, very badly, and like my doctor was saying, like, hey, you probably can't do kung fu anymore. You can't do all that crap. And but kung fu was like the biggest part of my life, and somehow I started training again and started getting healthier, and I just went back to making films, and that's when art school dropouts of like this current version kind of
Mm-hmm.
started, like before you kind of thing. But we were making vlogs, making little sketches. It was really like stupid, like dumb like, YouTube humor. Like I still have those. I still could make like really dumb humor stuff because like that's what the Steps Says No is and shit, right? But and that's what it started because it's only me and one dude, and like I would just set the camera up with tripod and I would just edit it, and I just loved it. It didn't matter how bad it was. I just loved filming and making these things. And you got introduced to the group, and I
Yeah, it's
just
all
kind of
thanks to Tin.
yeah, because like you're like, oh yeah, no, let's just talk about this thing. Like yeah, you're our manager now.
Oh my gosh, I remember that too. You're just like, oh, you could just be like our manager. I'll like slowly ease the group into
Ease
it.
the group in. I even said it.
And I
I'll
remember
slowly ease
walking
the.
down the stairs at your house and everybody's down there. And then I was like, oh, hey guys. And then you're just like, oh, hey, by the way, so Steph is our manager now? I'm like,
That makes it sound really bad. That made it. I'm not bad. I'm not a terrible person. Oh well, for what it was, I think it was. I was just really excited that there were other people that wanted to be part of the thing that I'm making. It was more of like I was just excited that that people enjoyed it. That's somebody that I never met before was like, hey, I'm really excited, or I would really like to help out. Next thing you know, you became like like my best friend, and you're like the one of the best persons in my life, and I wouldn't know how.
wrong way! God damn it, Joey!
Oh, where is
Uh,
this? There's a lag. There we
oh,
go.
okay.
And I think that's why I love filmmaking so much because I've met a lot of amazing people in my life through it. And it's not like, and obviously like the content I always made is like action based or whatever, but it's always been a feel good type of thing. It's kind of nice. Like I grew up watching Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung, and that's what got me into wanting to make filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing kung fu way before that, so it's kind of like maybe if I could inspire people to live a life of meaning for themselves, right? Then I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, and I
Like
don't
I
think
said, I
you
already
give.
had that.
Yeah, I don't think you give yourself enough credit though, because I feel like when I first joined,
Mm-hmm.
you, I, I found that you like often, even now, honestly, you downplay our work a lot. Like, okay, we're not the
Well, I don't want
best.
to.
I get it, but like back then, your work was still good. Like,
Okay, yeah, we're not the best, and I know we're pretty damn good. Like, don't get me wrong, I do know that, but I want to stay hungry
yeah.
and I want to get better, and so I'm not sure if I'm the type of person that would get lost in power if I start thinking that way. But I don't. I want to nip that in the butt if that actually ever does end.
Hey, like I think everything pretty much turned out awesome. I mean, I joined, then Art School Dropouts became a business, and then now it's kind of where it is today. I mean,
I wouldn't
granted,
be making money from like art school dropouts. For you, you're the one who said like, "Hey, let's make it into a business." I'm like, I don't know.
oh my god, for
You're
a
like,
year,
yes.
for 1 year, guys, he
I
like,
fought her. I fought her for everything. I was like, no, I want this to be like just like I get the struggles and I get the obstacles that we would have to
mhm.
cross, but that doesn't phase me because of the fact that like I can see where we're going, and I almost like I can already see the future that we're at, and I already believe that. And like for whatever we're doing, like I said, like it's if the sacrifices are there, if it means that I have to stay in a house for a year to like get better and to train or like right, I have like a lot of scripts. So once this whole pandemic is over and we can film, our production is going to be like
Oh my
nonstop,
god. And I'm gonna
and
be
it's gonna be
so
fun.
exhausted, but it's gonna be so
Yeah,
fun. I could
yeah, it'd
like
be like
see you and I could
worthwhile.
give you a hug, hopefully.
Oh, I miss you too, darling. But yeah, so
So, our friends from Immortal Red Fox, when are we
oh
working
yeah,
together? I need ASDO for a Red Fox special.
I thought he was moving back here, right?
I was hoping. I think that's what he said, but it's
Well, for one, you have to make another suit
no. He
that
said
fits
that
one of our
it
stuntmen.
fits. He said that
That
the
way, that we can use in fight scenes that
oh.
we don't feel like we can't break it. That's all. That's the only thing. Right?
Hmm. Yeah, and if you guys
It's
don't
gonna.
know, check out Immortal Red Fox on YouTube. They sell merch, they have comics, they have a web series, and like you can binge watch all of them, and they're really funny, and it's toku
Yeah.
and a lot of special effects, and the character is just really lovable. I think. I mean, he's just really funny.
Yeah. Well, how about the like? Is there any questions for you? Because like, why did you start with Art School Dropouts?
I mean,
There's like a lot, and you were part of a lot of. Weren't you working with a lot of like filmmakers in the group in the area? Sorry.
yeah, I was. I mean, I did a lot of like short films and like I acted in like a couple of things here and there, just all indie, nothing like really big. It's not like, oh my god, you saw me in this. Um, but
Yeah.
I think that there was this like an immediate connection that I had with Joey. So, and like, okay, so recently I was listening to a podcast by like Alex Ferrari, I think. He runs Indie Film Hustle. I mean, if you're an indie filmmaker, odds are you've probably already heard of his podcast. And he had a guest, and one of the tips that he had was trust your instincts. And if you find somebody that you can trust, then go with it. And I mean, I trusted Joey. I mean, even now, like, he's my best friend.
Yeah. Of course.
Despite all of the arguments and, like, you know, disagreements
Yeah.
that we've had over the years, I mean, I still
But I
trust
think
you,
that's. I think
and I
that's
trust
what.
your judgment on things. Like, I still take your opinions into consideration
Yeah.
regarding, like, decisions. But, I mean, I think in the beginning, I didn't know you that well, but I
Mm.
felt like I could really trust you, and that your
Aw.
vision kind of fit where I kind of wanted to see myself anyways. But
Why is this so far? Our work marriage thing, right? Like
yeah,
we, there's a lot of arguing, and since because like obviously I'm more of a creative, and Steph is more of like the logical business kind. So sometimes the heart and mind it clashes, right? But
yeah.
I trust her, so it's not always like my way. Definitely not. Like
Hmm.
she'll say something, and I will like push against it, but then for her to think about it and like, yeah, no, that is right.
Yeah,
So it's like,
we actually we fight about a lot of stuff and
oh
disagree
yeah,
about a lot of stuff. Like, even though if I agree on something, actually, for example, Patreon, for you guys that actually support us on Patreon, I did not want to do Patreon at first. I think
weren't
you had
you
a
were
presentation and everything too, and you sat me
yes.
down in your kitchen and was
I
like,
still have it. I still have it.
yeah, and I sat there as he like presented this, and I'm like, why is he? I get it, like the whole business side, but and like you were in charge of Patreon, and guess who's in charge of Patreon now? Actually, merch was one of those things that I was against because I was just like, oh, I don't think we should do merch yet, and I was like holding off on it. And what happened? You ended up started to make merch anyways,
Yeah.
and then I was like, what the heck? And then
I
I was
think
like, all right, okay, fine. I guess it makes sense because then people started buying and like supporting. So I was like, all right. And then now we have all this merch available in our store, and it's kind of cool. And plus,
which
you know, I like our merch. It's
yeah.
pretty. I don't know why we're showing it when it's popping up on the screen. That's the whole point of me doing that. Let's take a quick break. We will tune in to our friend at Hero G. If you guys know G,
Mm.
he's been in a bunch of our stuff, so check his channel out. Get quarantine fit, because God knows I haven't. So yeah.
Because I didn't think
Yeah, did that say fittiness?
yeah, right? I was like, did that say fittiness?
Oh, need to
Fittiness.
fire that editor.
I
All right.
think I know who the editor was.
Okay, so now that we're back, so updates for the chat. Oh my God, Joey! All right, updates for the channel.
Yes, updates.
Yeah,
What's
so
going
it's
on?
kind of weird because usually I feel like we have way more updates for the channel because we're out doing things, we're shooting stuff, or we're gonna go to like different events. But you know, because of the pandemic, we just have to stay quarantined. For those that have been asking if we're going to bring back the in-house grindhouse, we're actually going to hold off on that for now, just because I feel like the event itself can be way better and way more beneficial to a lot of filmmakers, and just trying to figure out ways to just make it, I don't know, just more profitable for at least
Yeah,
like
well,
filmmakers in some sort of way.
yeah, because the whole point of that is to get you guys to go onto their page so they can, so there's more people viewing their stuff. So, you guys might see something else that you might like on their stuff because like uh obviously, if we hold one every like 3 times a year, that's not gonna be enough time for filmmakers to make
Yeah.
something new, to update whatever, and they would give like past work.
Hmm.
But look at past work; it's already there on their channel, and
Yeah.
we don't want to take those views from them. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
we
And
want
so,
people to like go to their channels and like whatever platforms that they have, like let's say they're selling a feature film on Amazon or something, then just go and support them and watch the whole film and buy it, because I mean, indie filmmakers, we have to kind of rely on the community to support, and it's hard for indie filmmakers to help other indie filmmakers from what I have seen, and I
oh
don't
yeah,
want us to be that way, because
yeah, like we
it's,
we want to help out, but like
yeah.
obviously, this is it's not like we could, like I said, we don't have like funds, right? But this is one way for us to help out if we can share like
Hmm.
the view or something like like signal boost, like hey, these are other amazing filmmakers from around the world or whatever. They're not like of like the highest caliber, or like they're not, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
like we're not making picture level quality, and some of them just started. But the fact that when somebody's starting to make films is like it's special enough. That's really awesome. We shouldn't downplay that. Of course, like like whatever you make the first time is not going to be great,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
right? And
why
that's
we
really what
have
it is.
like such an open submission form. It's like, hey, if you made
Yeah,
something, just submit it. I mean, even if it's of like low quality, or you made something that's crazy expensive and it's like super well produced, I mean, I think the whole
yeah,
idea is for all of us to inspire each other, and
right.
also a lot
And
of people just to introduce more people to see like what other content is available besides what's being fed to you with a spoon, like Netflix and Hulu and other major
right,
platforms, because there's indie filmmakers everywhere. And I wish I could support all
yeah,
of them, but I'm stuck
yeah,
also being a viewer and like just
yeah,
watching their stuff, and that's the only way. But that's the best way to support, honestly. I mean, when
yeah.
you guys watch our stuff and like leave a comment, it's
Yeah, it
like,
it feels really good, like
yeah.
there's somebody out there. And yeah, obviously we would like to get uh paid for it, but hopefully in time, if we get good enough and there's a lot more views enough, then somebody out there with money might be able to be
Hmm.
like, hey, I think there's money in you guys, and let's make something profitable. And hopefully at that point in time we still have your respect, and you guys know that
Hmm.
we uphold our content, and we try to make something good, and we just wouldn't make anything that would go against our ideals. I don't sell out. I can't sell out that easy, but for the right amount of
But
price,
for
maybe I
money,
would.
yeah, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I wouldn't just go full 180 degrees and be like full YouTuber,
Like,
appear out
hey,
of
what's
nowhere like
up,
a
guys? Oh my
you're like we're,
gosh.
we're brought to you by like Raid Shadow Legends or some shit like that. Obviously.
We're trying to play with different
Yeah.
things, but the idea is we don't want to be like a typical film festival with like the laurels and making it seem like
Yeah,
it's a
because like
bigger thing than it is. I mean, this is just
yeah,
us showing you guys, hey, these are all these awesome filmmakers from everywhere. Don't just follow us, follow
yeah,
them, because we're not going to be
yeah,
butthurt.
and yeah, and I don't think I want to. I know that that's one way for film festivals to make money, right? It's like
Hmm.
if they have like some sort of prize or like notoriety. It's like, oh, this is like the winner of ASDO Grindhouse Award, like
Yeah.
like that to me. I guess it wouldn't make sense.
Uh,
But why judge? But what judgment do I have to be like,
yeah.
that's a great film, that's a shitty film? Like,
I,
I make we
yeah.
all make shitty films. Like our films are shitty as shit, dude.
Like, who are these judges? Who the hell are we? Um,
But we'll definitely share it and
oh yeah, we'll
hopefully,
share
help
it
you guys.
and help promote it and get more people to come watch it. I think like
Yeah.
that's a great idea. But no. Besides that, Joy and I, we have been working behind the scenes at home safely in quarantine for you guys. Where Joy's working on scripts and just trying to,
Stop.
yeah, he's writing nonstop to a point
Mm.
where he's like, hey, I need to talk about this and that. And I'm just like, oh, and I'm stuck in marketing mode and promotion mode and all the business end of things. So I'm sorry if I sound like sales pitchy and whatnot, but that's how, if you guys want to learn more on how to support us, I don't want anybody to ever be like, hey, how do I like support you guys besides watching? Well, hopefully Ask the Dropouts will answer a lot of those questions because we have Patreon, we have merch, we have tutorials that you guys could check out and get a discounted price on with our promo code. And we also are a sponsored project under Fractured Atlas. So if you guys are in the States and want to take advantage of like tax deductions, donate to our Fractured Atlas page and you guys will actually get a tax write-off. And there's like so many more levels to like that just service. Like it's great if we could get investors, but
Hmm.
investors have a tendency to like back out or like they're scared of like return on investments. But a tax deductible donation, it's a tax deductible donation. And if you work for like Google or something, they do matching donations. There's a whole other thing. I'm probably just gonna make a video with
Yeah.
Joey with that. So yay! Yeah, so hopefully we could get more merch to you guys, and all kinds of stuff. Oh, and on Patreon, actually, if you guys become a patron on our Patreon, we have a 3 month
That's hard to
perk.
say.
I know it's so hard. It's a tongue twister. But
The Patreon on Patreon.
if you guys become a patron at a $25 tier and up, we actually will have a exclusive ASDO merch only on Patreon. Or maybe we'll just throw in one of the merch designs that you guys like. If you guys like this one or that one, we'll throw it on there, and after 3 months, you'll just get it. Maybe we'll throw some of our posters on there too. I mean,
Oh,
that'll be cool.
yeah.
Once we're out of quarantine, we'll be able to start producing a lot of like, quality content that you guys know us for. But in the meantime, we're just trying to stay safe. So I hope you guys understand that it's,
Yeah. Thank you so much
yeah,
for staying with us for a
yeah,
while.
I know. I mean, it's crazy that you guys have stuck around with us like during all of this.
Like
It's
all of these like
crazy.
productions around the world have been yeah,
Yeah, like
they've been like
they've stopped, or I mean now, since I guess like rules have eased up a little bit, people are starting to get back into production, but I personally don't.
scary, dude.
Yeah, I don't want to risk Joey or anybody's like health and life, as well as like the people
Yeah.
around them, by getting together to shoot a video. Like as much as we want to like produce content for you guys, I'm sorry, I just think life is very
Mm.
important, and I just don't
Safety.
want anything bad to happen. So I hope you guys
But
understand.
don't worry though, like I am working on stuff and like I sooner or later I promise you guys I'll be putting up like fight scenes against, like it's
Hmm.
obviously it won't be like the full, productions that we do, but at least like the some of the previs and practices that I might have that I will have within the
Yeah.
next few months.
I had talked to Joey about this before, like, hey, should we actually put a halt on our videos and just tell you guys that, hey, we're just going to take a break for a few months and not release any content? That was that was one of those moments he was like, no. And even though I disagreed, he fought me on it and he won. So if anything,
Yeah,
thank Joey for the continuing
I'm not
content
gonna.
that you guys will see.
It's not gonna stop. I mean, yeah, it might not be high quality, but I do believe quantity will produce quality.
Yeah.
Like so, I'm taking this now as practice, and I know you guys see it, and you guys will be seeing weirder things, I guess. No, like just the stuff that we wouldn't really do, but like
Oh
I'll put a
yeah.
lot of effort into it, to learn how to be a better filmmaker. Especially like I'm trying to practice lighting. See, got my kicker, got my fill, got my key and stuff, and just trying.
I don't have anything special here. We had
Yeah.
so many things planned for you guys for
Holy
2020.
crap! This
Like,
year was gonna be so
it was supposed to
nuts.
be
It was supposed to
a
be nuts.
feature. It was supposed to be like 3 web series
Two
and
web,
like 5
yeah,
like short films or something. So much
yeah.
so that it was going to
We would have been
spill
so
over into
stacked.
21 and 22. Like it was gonna
Yeah,
be crazy. Some of you patrons already
but
kind of
now,
know, but it's
yeah,
now it's we have to kind of take things slow. But at least we get to brush up on skills and
yeah.
just be
We would have
better.
been stacked.
Yeah.
We've been stacked for years.
Oh my
If like this
god.
year, like it would have been super super busy, and it would have been hard because like earlier this year, even though we were like ready to go into it, I was still like a bit sick. Like I really couldn't walk, right? And
Yeah.
like like I would, yeah. Steph knows. I was like completely like I couldn't
Like
do
he
anything.
had to
Like
quarantine
yeah,
before quarantine for a reason.
yeah.
Actually, I think if
It's yeah.
anything, it kind of worked out considering that you did get sick and then this happened. It was a sign that we had to wait just a little bit for
Yeah,
before we go gung ho with
right.
all of the projects that we had in mind. And if that's what we had planned for 2020, like you can only imagine how much content we
Holy
have like
shit.
planned now because of
Right.
quarantine. Oh god.
So now I have like these ideas that I'm like, oh man, we could do it like when quarantine kind of eases up. But now if quarantine eases up, now like I take those ideas and be like, okay, well here's 10 more layers. Because that's what I do.
Yeah. And
So,
so with that, now we will end with comments of the month. So this comment is actually from Josh Makes Movies. I'm assuming Josh makes movies, right? Well, yeah, because his comment was the community line. Great stuff. I'm actually writing 2 Nerf short films. Probably have to shoot them next year due to the virus
yeah.
craziness, which makes sense. I mean, he commented on our Nerf Assassin episode 1. Like
Oof.
that's the first
The
Nerf
first
series.
test. That was the test, yeah.
And that's crazy that that was a comment of July because we did
Whatever
that.
happened to that kid that was part of that? Did he go to film school or something?
Oh
I
no,
don't have
wasn't
any contact with him.
he? Yeah, maybe we should follow up. I don't know.
Film school or acting? What
He
he
was
was going
acting.
for?
He wanted to do acting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he wanted to work
Lost
with us
contact.
more afterwards, but then we never heard from him. So maybe we weren't good enough at the time. I guess.
Oh, probably. I mean,
But thanks, Josh, for the comments. Yeah, hopefully you finish those short films next year, and please share it with us. I would love to see it. I mean, I
yeah,
think
definitely have to see it.
Nerf films, it's like such an easy way to do like gunfight scenes, and it's
Yeah,
funny and fun. I mean,
yeah, and
Nerf
I'm
guns are
sure because
fun.
like I know it like the things that we make. It's really even though we're using Nerf, it's really not for kids either, right? Because it's like I think our it's not just like Call of Duty. We're like going around shooting people like like typical Nerf videos on YouTube. We're actually so I want to make a story around gunfights, and that's a thing.
I
I
mean,
think
the
it's kind of
rules
cute.
in Jersey when we film, it's like you can't carry firearms here. Like you just can't. But if it's a bright orange Nerf gun, nobody's gonna say anything. Yeah. So this pretty much brings us to the end of the show. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's actually been quite a long show, despite us not actually being live. But eventually,
Yeah,
this will be live. Fingers crossed. No, it will. It will.
it will.
I will it to happen. And then we could talk to you
Right.
guys live because I think that's way more exciting. But thank you to the people that did leave us questions on our Instagram. Please support us. And again, special thank you to all of our patrons that have stuck with us. I mean, can't thank you enough. Thank you to everybody that has like purchased our merch, checked out our tutorial series, watched our videos, been involved with the in-house grindhouse, and watched the other filmmakers. I mean, I really can't thank you guys enough, and
Yeah, thank you so much.
I
Really
hope you
appreciate
guys
it.
will join us when we actually do this live. And let me know what you guys think of this format. I worked very hard, so please be gentle
Yeah,
with the
she's
comments.
producing all of this, and I am not part of it, so this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm so nervous. Okay, all right, bye guys.
Bye.
Me an umbrella 'cause cause I see the rain coming, followed by the hail and thunder. Still, they won't put me under, no. Rumor is they talking about me. Rumor is they trying to down me.